Hello everyone and welcome to this new video where we're going to look at how you can make mixamo characters look realistic in Blender. Because we all know and probably love mixamo characters, but if we zoom into them, most of the times the detail breaks. This one actually holds up quite well, but especially with humanoid characters, the faces don't look that great and you can most of the times tell that it's from mixamo because of this. Now I am just gonna print screen this page and ask ChatGPT, can you pick a random, let's pick Jackie, no, not Jackie, it's stylized, Elizabeth. Okay, let's go with Elizabeth then. Import, I have it set to my quick favorites, which you can do by right clicking, assign to quick favorites. It's a bit faster that way. And now when we turn on rendered view, we can see that she is very glossy, but she doesn't look too bad actually. The hair is not really perfect, but we can fix that as well. And we can see that most of the things that we want separate are already separate. So if that's not the case, you would want to try and make the hands and the clothing and the hair a separate object, so that we can change these. So now, first of all, we can see that everything is very glossy and even metallic. So we'll just go into all of the materials and set metallicness to 0 because she is not metallic. And we can see that the roughness is not doing the job correctly. Everything is quite dark for the roughness, except these parts of her face. The rest is really dark. And it means that it's glossy and not rough. White means rough and black means glossy, because white is a value of 1. So we can get a ramp and kind of invert this whole map. And now we can control this a little bit. If we now preview it, you can see that our model is no longer glossy and it's already looking a little bit better. This is supposed to be specular. We look at it, it's just one color. We don't really have any use case for this. We can just delete it. You can see that everything becomes a little bit too specular for and after. So we would have to specular set it to 0.5 like it was probably with the image. Now for changing her to look like a lot more realistic. She doesn't look too bad, but you can tell that she's not a real human. First of all, we can try changing the lighting. So we'll just turn off the HDRI, get this point lamp. I like to use an area lamp. But it still doesn't look realistic. One fix for this is skin obviously has subsurface scattering. But if we increase this now, the shirt also has subsurface scattering. We don't want that, so we'll create a separate material for the loose body parts that we made. The skin, we can increase the subsurface scattering, set it to skin, and then kind of play with the value to get like a nice looking value. But still there's something off, like it's not catching the light very realistically right here. If you're not happy with how your humans look in general, you can consider getting my Skin Plus. It's a V2, it already went through an update. You can just plug in the maps that you do have, which are these in my case. And you can see that there's already a bit of skin detail that got added. We want a bit less specularity because it's a little bit too specular in my opinion, and maybe make it a little bit rougher to also help. And a new feature that I want to add is just simply a mapping node right here, so that you can increase the size thing where there's some freckles right there, for example. We probably want some on our forehead, something like this probably. Have got this. I would like to change the eyes, but I think they already look quite good, to be honest. But if you want, you can change them, and I'll make a separate object for now, and then I am gonna change them with my eye plus. But I really gotta say, like, these eyes look really good, but I can change them for my procedural eye that I'll just place over right. And that's pretty good like that. Give a lot of realism in my opinion. And you can obviously change them because they're fully procedural. There's a lot of different options that you can play around with. The pupil can also change dynamically, so the iris will change based on the pupil size, which is pretty cool I think. And you can just right click to go to your default settings whenever you want. Let's see if I can get a bit more veins maybe. Looks already pretty good like this. Now for the hair I am going to use from blender.org downloads, releases, the demo files. And then in the demo files you have these hairstyles, and this one looks quite similar to the hair she had. We could also copy these if we wanted, but we're not gonna. I'll just copy the hair. Okay, paste the hair in here. And then hit period key on my numpad, delete this one. Now we can make this instance real, because it was not a real instance. Curly hair is on top of this, so we can delete this head, I plus eyes. I think that's from the hair. The hair doesn't look as good right now. We can go into curves, make it 3D curves, and set it to strips. Strands also work. Just increase the additional subdivisions. I think strips look a little bit better. We want to adjust the hair color. Right now it's in this weird shader that uses different outputs for Eevee and cycles. We're going to use cycles in this case and just use a principled hair BSDF for some brown hairs like she had before for scalp. On top of her skull we can use this mesh. We can constrain this to be a child of the armature and get it to follow the head movement. We can do the same thing for the eyes, so we just constrain child of and then set it to armature and then head. Set the inverse and click here to copy it to this selected format. Just disable it like this, I guess. Yeah, then you can kind of see what's going on a little bit better. Now we can improve the clothing a little bit as well. Simple nodes, so we can get this a separate, make this separate node and turn up the sheen a little bit, which is realistically something that would happen with clothing. If you want to animate the eyes, I would suggest just turning on individual origin and then moving them around like so, and that way you can animate them looking at you or looking away, looking up. If you get this, for example, these streaks, you can just hit Ctrl 2 to apply a subdivision surface, and that will get rid of it. And now we can see, compared to non-skin plus or with skin plus, I mean still the arteries are maybe a little bit too intense, but even without skin plus you can get some nice results. If you do want to look at skin plus and eye plus, you can find them on my website. So we got after and we got before. Now obviously the metallicness is really bad on these things, so that's not really fair. Yeah, before and after. So that's what you can do with Mixamo characters if you put a little bit of time in it and maybe a little bit of money. The thing is, if you buy one of these assets, you can use them on pretty much any model. So you can make any human character look realistic. And I'll keep updating these. I want to make the eye a bit more realistic, and I want to add more features to Skin Plus, and maybe improve the whole skin or bumpiness of it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.